So for today, I want to talk about the New Orleans Pelicans, a team that really struggled at the start of the season, but has now picked it up. Despite last night's loss to the Milwaukee Bucks, they're 9-6 in their last 15 games after starting 5-12. And I do think this is a trend that will continue. So without further ado, welcome to the video. If you guys like the content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends, and let's get right into it. So, like I said, the Pelicans really struggled to start the year. At 5-12 and a horrible mismanagement of the roster, this team looked lost. I mean, Stan Van Gundy was literally using Lonzo Ball as a 3-and-D shooting guard, which is basically the least effective way to use him, given that Lonzo Ball needs to be the primary caretaker of the ball and distributor rather than Eric Bledsoe, who, while is a decent serviceable point guard, really does not offer much in the play creation department and can be a ball stopper at times when he tries to find his rhythm and take some tough shots. The offense was running through Brandon Ingram at the time rather than Zion, and while I'm a big fan of Brandon Ingram's game, again, that's just the misutilization of this roster and of the talent you have in Zion. Zion's ability has really come to life within the last couple weeks or so, as he's put up 30 points per game on 70% true shooting in the month of February. To put this into perspective, that basically shatters Giannis's efficiency from last season, and the domination of Zion Williamson has helped him capture his first All-Star season this year, as he was averaging 25 points per game and 7 rebounds. And while a lot of people think that he got it well over others just because of the hype, I would like to disagree on that, but that's a topic for another day. Now, this team has come to life, and I think a big portion of that is largely in part due to the play of Lonzo Ball. Despite the continued misutilization of his playstyle, his shooting has really come to life, in which he's averaging 17 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists on nearly 42% from 3 and 47% from the field. While it's highly unlikely that these splits will continue the entire season, it is important to recognize that Lonzo's shooting has gone up every single season that he's been in the league. And now it's looking like this team should extend him as their future point guard for years to come, and rather try to trade Eric Bledsoe. But Eric Bledsoe isn't the only logjam on this team. Another problem occurs when you look at the big man position, and specifically Steven Adams. Adams has been a serviceable big man for many years now, starting with the Oklahoma City Thunder and now ending up on the Pelicans. However, his play style basically clogs up the paint and really hinders Zion from being as effective as he can be, which is interesting as you think about it, because like we just said, Zion this month has just been going insane as far as an efficiency standpoint, and when you just watch the games, Zion has just been taking over. Some of that, Steven Adams has been out, some of that he's been on a minutes restriction, but it's clear Zion, when Adams is not on the floor, is so much better, especially at getting to the paint and doing what he does best, which is just relentlessly attacking the interior of a defense. Steven Adams, on the other hand, is pretty narrow-visioned, and while I think he's gotten better as a passer from that big man spot, which has allowed him to remain in the league and earn extensions opposed to a guy like Andre Drummond, he still isn't the option for this Pelicans team. I'm not sure where this team goes from here as far as trade options go, but this team should be in a buying mood because they can definitely reach the playoffs and build something for the future with the foundation of Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, who I think has played really well, especially on the defensive end, Brandon Ingram, who is an elite scorer, and Zion Williamson, the franchise player, as well as Nickeil Alexander-Walker, the second-year guard who's shown a really good three-point shooting ability this year after really struggling last year, and I do think he can be an interesting bench player, and Kira Lewis Jr., who, in my opinion, could end up as a starting point guard, as I think he does have the most upside even above Lonzo Ball, but he's a change of pace point guard for a team that plays really slow. They're ranked 21st in pace compared to first last season. But he's a really speedy point guard with an interesting play creation ability that also has a decent shooting touch. He reminds me a little bit of a De'Aaron Fox from a speed perspective and just the intensity that he plays with. But I don't think he's as shifty and as good as a finisher of Fox, and that makes sense because I thought Fox was all-star level point guard this year, despite not making it. So as far as the team's future goes, I think the best way to handle things is to trade Eric Bledsoe and Steven Adams. I don't know how you get rid of them because both of these players, near the end of their careers or near the point where they're not as effective as they used to be within the modern NBA, especially with Adams. It's hard to say who exactly would take them. I would try to ship Steven Adams to the Celtics as they're in desperate need of a big man and also have a multitude of assets and young players that they might be willing to give up for someone that can really change the outlook on the big man position for that team because of the inability to contest with size with guys like Tyson, Rob Williams, and even Tristan Thompson, who are basically all 6'8" big men. And for Eric Bledsoe, I think it gets a little bit harder because despite his defense, he can really mess up the flow of the offense by looking for his own shot far too many times. And as an undersized player, despite being strong, I really don't think he's that great of a play creator either. I'd go as far as to say that he wasn't even the best playmaker on the Bucks as far as Giannis has been, or as far as he's been on the Bucks. But Giannis was significantly better as a playmaker than him. So I think the way to unlock this team would be having Lonzo Ball run point, a combination of either Josh Hart or JJ Redick at the shooting guard position, and then have Ingram and Zion, of course, your two franchise guys. I don't know if Zion's ready to play small ball 5 yet because he is sort of a lackluster defender, but if you can get a nice defensive 5 with some three-point shooting who can stretch the floor in order to not clog the paint for Zion, I think that could really help build upon what's been a good return to form for this team and basically just get this team up and running and look to contend for the playoff spot that they really should have already been contending for given the talent for this team. A guy that I think may be serviceable is Dwayne Dedmon. He is currently a free agent. He was an Atlanta Hawk last year as well as a Sacramento King. And while he's not a flashy name, he could be a really cheap, serviceable option that offers great rebounding. But I think the main asset to this team is his ability to occasionally hit the three and basically just keep the ball movement rolling. I do think he was a big help for Trae Young last year when Trae Young was really playing well from a scoring standpoint. And just having Dedmon there to be a serviceable fifth option within the team and like a bailout shooter, I think would be incredibly important. So that's all for today. If you guys like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. I know I've been gone for a little bit. I've been dealing with some things. But I am back now and should be having more content up more consistently. So I'll see you guys soon. Have a good night.